Well, hello everyone. I'm still in the afterglow of having all of my now friends that came here for the Oklahoma City Garden Boutique experience. I am just, oh my goodness, what a great time we had. But today I want to talk about 3 things that I'm kind of regretting that I didn't do sooner or more of, particularly here on the Upper West Side, but also in other areas of the garden. And I'm definitely going to make some notations, notes, observations in my garden journal to do this next year, to do it earlier, to do more of it. Sometimes based on not necessarily something I did wrong or whatever, but actually a success I had that makes me think, ooh, I wish I would have done more of that. So what do you say, you guys? Let's do it. Well, number one, I wish I had planted more and sooner mock oranges or Philadelphus. So here I've got just the last blooms of this Pearl of Perfume. That's a Southern Living Plant Collection specimen. And I just loved it here on Lemon Lane, the way it just kind of, its branches wove in and out of, I've said it many times, the Miss Lemonabilia and things. And I planted 3 in here. Here's the last one. And you can still see there's a couple of blooms on it. But oh my gosh, the fragrance was just exceptional. So I wish I had done that sooner. These are going to stay pretty compact. But one thing that heartens me is over here, the light is kind of flat today. It's a little bit overcast, very cool. It was actually cold this morning. But what heartens me and comforts me a little bit is I did plant another couple Philadelphus, a couple more Philadelphus. And this right here is, I believe it's White Sensation. These are the ones I got from White Flower Farm. And they are fragrant, and these will get a little bit taller. So you'll notice the other ones will stay a little bit more diminutive by the porch, but these will get taller and I think will be beautiful, especially, hopefully, next year or maybe next spring when that Autumn Empress Encore Azalea blooms in tandem, and I think they'll just be fabulous together. Right now, that blue and white, well, it's the star of the show, and then, of course, you do a triple play, and I've got those Touch of Gold hollies there. So the whole composition is just spectacular. So you might want to replicate this trio of something bluish purple, like this Larkspur, a Philadelphus, and that Touch of Gold holly. And I'll put some links to both varieties. I recommend planting both of them. That way the effects, their fragrance, their romance, their allure lasts even longer because they bloom sequentially. Another thing that I'll mention that I love about them is they are the exact same pure white as that Minoan lace. Let me zoom in here, because that Minoan lace is just, well, it's just a pure white, and you can see that both of them, they illuminate the garden like nothing else. And nothing, I think, speaks to garden romance quite as much as that kind of color of white, especially when it dances in the wind with other beautiful flowers like the larkspur and things. But I love that. I love that combo. Okay, so my next thing that I wish I had done more of and sooner is, I think I told you that I planted some dill in the flower beds, and I planted it, I seeded it, broadcast the seed. I wish I would have done it a little bit earlier. You can see some of it here coming up, playing with the larkspur and with that It's a Breeze rose, primarily because I wanted it to bloom. So it is, and it is blooming. You can see here some of those sweet, sweet blooms. I just love them. They're a great hoverer plant, in addition to being so valuable in the kitchen. Love dill with any kind of fish, swordfish in particular. There's some more. And I love the combination of its frilliness So my regret is that I didn't plant it sooner. I want to plant some next fall to see if I can get it to germinate a little bit earlier in the spring. Now, even though I wish I would have planted more of it and earlier, part of the problem is we just haven't had any rain. We just haven't had any rain. And so because of that, things aren't growing that much. And they're just not as vigorous and as plentiful and as tall. All of those good things that rainfall can bring us. So that's another regret I have is dill. And I'm just going to plant tons of it this fall because I love the way it looks. I love its frilliness. And I think it's now indispensable in the front garden and really, really a key element, I think, of a cottage garden. I planted, I think I've told you this before, but I just had terracotta flower pots that I set in the beds with some really good quality seeding mix. And here, these are all boxwood basil. And earlier, I did a bunch of giant pink zinnias, and I've already planted those out. I started them in the pot, and I just set them in the border where they would just get sprinkled on by the sprinkler, so I didn't have to hand water them. And they did so well up here on the Upper West Terrace because it gets so much direct sun and bright light. And they did so well. And then I planted out those zinnias already into the border. And so I will have continued bloom, dramatic bloom, into the summer once things warm up. It's going to be 90s next week, but today we barely made it to the 60s. It's just extremely strange weather. So here's another example that was so successful that I wish I had done more of it with different seeds. And that is this balsam. Now it wants some shade, so I'm going to have to figure out where to put it. And I'll definitely also be pinching this back. And then I've got some Sensation Cosmos, which did pretty well here in the container. And it also tells me what a beautiful just composition the both of them are. So I might even try growing some of this. I might even try growing some of that Cosmos in some pots. I'm not sure. I might do a single pot that just has nothing but Cosmos. And that way, if I have trouble growing it in the ground, then I can keep it in a container and maybe put it in an area where it gets enough sun, but is a little bit more protected from the elements. But this stuff germinated just almost immediately. So I'm thinking, and since I just absolutely adore seeing seeds germinate, it gives me so much joy. I'm thinking, okay, why didn't I just do more of that? I have plenty of seeds. And so I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. So when this pot, I'm going to separate all of these little darlings, and I'm going to plant them out on this cool, somewhat cloudy day. And then I'll have this pot, and then I think I will plant something in there that will bloom and grow up and strut its stuff later in the summer. So here's my question of the day. What would you recommend? What would you recommend that's really easy to start from seed? Not so much sunflowers and nothing with a deep taproot that's hard to transplant, but something I could still transplant for later in the summer. So what are some of your favorite hot weather annuals even vegetables that are ornamental, that I could start from seed in these pots on the Upper West Side? Because the Upper West Side has been, it's just a wonderful real estate, wonderful real estate for all of these plants. And speaking of that question of the day, if you have recommendations for me, really whether they're seeds or just some plants you think that I haven't mentioned that I grow or don't grow rather, that you think I should, please let me know, especially if they're pollinator friendly. I have some cleome that has started to come up, but not a lot. And the pollinators loved it. Some celosia. But boy, when the monarchs come through later in the summer, I want to make sure that I put on a banquet for them. So if there are some things that I am not growing that you think, Linda, you need to grow that, then let me know. Especially anything, I don't know why I'm thinking of this, but anything that might have gray foliage. A lot of the things here I've already cut back hard. You can see that scabiosa, and I think it looks beautiful from this vantage point, but from up above, that pincushion flower, the scabiosa, it looks a little bit tired, and I do have a shoot next week, so I want to make sure everything looks kind of fresh. But I'm thinking everything just needs to grow up, and that the yellow leucanthemum from Southern Living, oh my goodness, it's filled with buds, so I'm hoping it might be in bloom next week. We shall see. And every day I come out and I check to see if there are buds yet on all of the hydrangeas. Sadly, they won't be in bloom for the shoot, but I will still have them here to enjoy a little bit later. I did see some buds on the blue Dear Dolores, because the initial ones got they got frostbit. But that's the beauty of planting anything that blooms on new wood, is you aren't susceptible to the heartache of a late freeze. Now, I kind of regret that I wasn't able to get my pentas in the ground a little bit earlier. I wish I had done it sooner. However, they just weren't available, and I had to find some first. They're not as large as they normally would be by now. Again, partly because we haven't had any rain. But nevertheless, something else that I regret a little bit, and I'm gonna tend to it today, and it's actually on the Upper East Side, and that is, I love the way the larkspur blooms so abundantly, and definitely it bloomed very abundantly on the Upper East Side. I had a call come in. Actually, it was Stuart calling me, so that interrupted my last little segment. But this is all of the larkspur that I'm talking about over here. Now, it is glorious. I'm not going to lie. I think it's glorious. But I maybe regret not thinning it out a little bit, because underneath here, and you can't see it, but there's all sorts of tall phlox that probably needs to be pinched. I planted some weigela in here. So I'm really going to tackle this area, do some deadheading, see what's under there. Oh, but look at that beautiful dill. It did what it's supposed to do. It grew up and is now dancing nicely with the other things. I'm sad that the foxglove is just almost finished. That makes me sad. And I have another regret, maybe, that I didn't plant more of it, and that I would have planted it in a little bit of different location. But I will just make a note in my garden journal. Look in there, you can see how the penstemon looks so pretty. Well, everything just looks kind of pretty right now. And it's cool. And I'm happy, the pollinators are happy. I think I need to go for a walk because it's just so glorious out. So I don't have many regrets. I might regret that I didn't get in those super petunias sooner in the window box. But boy, that mandevilla looks glorious. Got lots of deadheading to do on the ivory. It's a breeze. But none of this, it's important to point out, none of these things, none of these regrets, none of these I wish I would have done these sooner, are deterring any of the pollinators, which are just so happy to be here. Just so happy to be here. And I do think that Upper East Side looks awfully nice. You can also see here, I'm getting ready. I need to water it first, but I have my tarp out, and I'm gonna water this pot of annuals, and then I'll dump it on its side and very delicately separate the root balls so that I can get them in the ground on this cool and beautiful day. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. Do answer my question of the day, because I really would like your input. You guys are, I think, I'm okay at design, but I think in terms of being horticulturalists and true gardeners, true cultivators, I think you guys have a lot on me. So let me know what your input is, and come back again, and I will share all sorts of information and wonderful, wonderful footage from the trip we had this weekend. Hello to all of my darling guinea pigs. That's what I'm thinking of you as, my darling guinea pigs who took the chance to come to Oklahoma City. And I don't think it disappointed. We had an absolutely fabulous time. And that was a very noisy truck going by. Oh, one happy thing. I always try to close out my videos and then I don't quite get to it. But one happy thing I noticed over here, I've been trying to get it established and I haven't been too fortunate, but I noticed over here inside this batch of scabiosa, look, there is a columbine, and it's that deep purple columbine. So I'm hoping it will start going rampant and just go to seed everywhere. And as I said, the pollinators, they don't care about design. They don't care about my timetable and my procrastination. They're just enjoying the buffet. Thank you guys. Have a great one.